Just Cause 2 somehow solved the open world transversal problem before Breath of the Wild. I vaguely remember how Just Cause was sort of a big deal at the time. The first game was promoted as a James Bond meets GTA meets Far Cry, with the biggest open world up to that date, doing various stunts to complete objectives. Maybe it's just a flow of time thing, but I played it recently and found it to be a miserable experience. It has all the problems with the open world games in the era: massive but empty worlds, a cool story tacked onto it, the developers wanting to replicate Hollywood GTA style linear missions, pointless errant side activities, and over hit scan points and click combat. But one thing that completely ruined the game for me was transversal. Just Cause 1 has the worst open world transversal I have ever played. You move extremely slow, and that frustration is compounded by the massive size of the open world. 30% of the game is basically you walking all over the empty world jungle environments that look exactly identical for 5 minutes, until you find a shitty driving vehicle that occasionally materializes in the close vicinity. The other 30% of the game is the shitty driving system with broken controls. Your car suddenly slips, crashes, and rotates 180 degrees for no reason, as the game constantly slow-mos for a cool factor. The safest way to move around an area is slowly driving the roads properly, and I don't think that matches the intent the developers wanted for the players to feel. The island seems as if it was designed as a wild theme park, and the game's theme is about the player doing insane stunts to have fun, but the game actively discourages making chaos and exploring this jungle environment. It actively encourages the player to play in the safest, most boring way. It's like they still use GTA template for the game that doesn't fit at all. Then I tried Just Cause 2. If the devs still couldn't take away the GTA's influence for Just Cause 1, Just Cause 2 feels like a completely different game. It actually feels more free-forming and sandbox. The environment is more varied and actually destructible. For example, there is no moment where you are stuck in one area wondering a way out because you couldn't destroy a fence for some reason, as you did in the first game. Instead of waiting in one position and click a right mouse key to aim in, to not waste your ammo all over shoulder view combat design, Just Cause 2's combat is more about the constant momentum. It is still mediocre, but involves more of the player's inputs in constantly moving around to evade the bullets, instead of having to see an arbitrary side mission icon in the map screen and activate it to suddenly spawn the good guys and having to do an extremely rigid linear mission to liberate a base as you did in the first game. They all play exactly the same: ignore enemies, destroy this barricade, then that barricade. You kind of travel around the world and discover a base and liberate the bases as you want. As a whole, the experience is way more hands-off than the first game. But the true triumph of Just Cause 2 is the way you move transverse around the system or around the map. Wait, I could say is the triumph of Just Cause 2 is the way you move around the map. Nintendo coined the term open air in advertising Breath of the Wild, and I'm kind of shocked that Just Cause 2, of all games, did that first. The problem with so many open world games is that traveling from point A to point B is so excruciatingly tedious. and push the analog stick to a certain direction until you arrive at the destination. They tend to feature invisible walls, not allowing the player to go that way, not allowed to climb that mountain. Just cause one had a grappling hook and parachuting, but only existed in a limited capacity and certain contexts. I'm also going to say, like, with Starfield, I haven't played Starfield because it's pretty demanding, but like I've been very disappointed in the way like you can't actually, it's just all fast travel. I to be honest, if there's one thing I hate in open world games is fast traveling. Like, what's the point of designing a massive world and not making a proper traversal system? I don't mind having fast travel, but I mean, like, if Starfield like developers watch this, like, please, I want more space exploration and planet exploration. Don't hold me back. Let me explore. Okay, back to the video. Discourse 2 says you can use a grappling hook and parachute anytime you want. Go anywhere and mess around the world. You can climb anything, jump on and off anything, and still get to where you want to go. It looks great and feels great to travel from one place to another. You are in the middle of the forest, just hook into the trees and fly up and then parachute out of it. You are facing a wall blocking you from entering an enemy base. Fly into it. You want to scale an enormous mountain. You can do that. Going from point A to point B is fun, and it's just simple as keeping hold the R shoulder key as you do in Spider-Man PS4. It requires actual skills and great player involvement. If you master it, you can complete an objective without even touching the ground. Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Complete Just Cause 2 without touching the ground. I'm just joking. Not that Just Cause 2 is a good open world game or even a good game in general, considering the movieist of grappling and flying around. It is weird how the world design does not take advantage of it. Some of the main missions do take advantage of the movement set, such as the really cool looking power generator, but most of the island is still flat, just like the Island Boys. With not much to grab onto, you'd expect there would be cities with a lot of buildings to look onto, and there is a few, but most of the island is horizontal. Can't believe I don't know how to pronounce island. My English sucks. Then much of the missions are still focused on driving. With the movesets this good, you never want to drive a car ever, especially with the jetpack. But so many of the objectives revolve around take this car and drive it back to this destination, and it is incredibly boring. This goes back to the mission design, which is only a step above the first game. They are still linear and repetitive. For example, every Fortress Liberation mission plays exactly the same. Hack the gate, escort the technician to one destination, shoot the barriers, don't move too far away from the technician, or it's game over, and hold on one position with the turret until a boss helicopter arrives. Even other missions want the player to play in a certain way. For example, you have to snipe a target at a certain sniping positions. But why do I have to take the sniping position? Why can't I just really choose my own sniping position? In fact, why do I even have to snipe? Why can't I just go into the base and kill the target? It wouldn't be this bad if the game didn't force the player to play these faction missions, but you have to unlock the main missions to progress the story. Just Cause 2 features faction dynamics, yet it doesn't matter one bit to the moment-to-moment gameplay. You know in Stalker how the faction dynamics basically change how you play, and it's made each playthrough so different from the other. Nothing like that here. In Just Cause 2, it just serves as a gate to keep you from playing the main mission. Hello. Okay, back. Even without the missions, things like liberating a base or a town feel a bit restrictive. Destroying guards and vehicles doesn't matter one bit. The game tells you to ignore engaging with the enemies. Instead, you have to blow up the very specific installments and find the very specific things in the base. You always miss one thing and then spend minutes wandering around looking for one collectible package. I was stuck at 94% for half an hour, even though I used a helicopter and circles around the place to shoot missiles at every single thing the game says. Nope, that doesn't count as destroying the base. What counts as destroying the base is having to get out of the helicopter because driving a vehicle apparently hides the indicator pop-ups for no reason. To collect this very small box at the corner you missed before, and only then the base is liberated. It kills all the pacing and joy. It feels like destroying things is more like a chore instead of a rampage. Even the mission contexts are identical. 70% of the cutscenes comprise of me waiting at the road until some truck arrives carrying an alley boss telling some exposition, putting down a weapon package and leaving. The other 90%, 30%, the other 30% cutscenes are me walking to the alley base, then boss telling me I should blow up some fortress, me walking into a helicopter, the boss shoving me doing expositions on the chopper, then landing at the enemy position with the troops. Literally the identical cutscene with the different characters. Even for the different factions, they don't stand out or are unique. Note even mission objectives differ from each other. This is just the lazy, just like my script writing skills, I guess. Self-burn. That's a self-burn. While the story this time is more self-aware, it does not go far enough. It is not as over-the-top as Saints Row or a Platinum game. It is like the devs are holding back. I'm not the guy who gives shit about story in games like this. I don't expect the game to tell me something about morality of the CIA regime change, but even then, even the mindless games can provide a good jack. Oh my god, where did I get these words? Okay, hold up. Okay, wait. I gotta search this word up. Wait, just give me a minute.
Position.
Okay, I got it. I'm not the guy who gives shit about the story in games like this. I don't expect the game to tell me about the morality of CIA regime change, but even then, even the mindless game can provide a good juxtaposition to why the player is doing things. Doom, Mario, and Brimstone have a paper-thin story, but they manage to lay out the context and motivate the player to care about what they are doing. In Just Cause 2, I didn't understand why I should destroy this country. I don't know why this regime is so evil. In fact, they introduced the president as the final boss at the very end. Why should I kill this guy considering the game's style? Rico is the most boring protagonist they could have gone for. At least let me play as someone like character, let me play as someone like the character in Duke Nukem. No, in fact, Duke Nukem would be like a bit out of pocket, which I get this still from sometimes. Oh my god. The game also suffers from a lot of the contemporary AAA game cliches, like maximalist HUD with icon pop-ups that negate the exploration. You cannot turn off the mid-map. Your health is lower than 50%, the game will flash the bloody screen to distract you from the low health warning. You need to do the annoying QTEs when they steal vehicles or hack control pad. The boring weaponry filled with bland guns also doesn't really take advantage of the bombastic nature of this game as well. Playing this game just salvates me if Red Faction Gorilla had this move set. The game does the Michael Bay style blow up everything sandbox better by giving in players by giving in the players control in dealing with the objectives. No, you have to find the specific package to liberate an enemy outpost. Bullshit. You liberate Mars by literally destruction every building and killing everything, which is how it should be done. But as a turbo movement and limited open launching vessel, what Just Cause 2 is kind of vice versa. I just hope Just Cause 3 look red faction and replicate how the game does it. Actually, I want to search up something. What up? Okay, yeah. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. To be honest, funny thing is, like, I haven't even played Just Cause 3. Yes, I know it came out a long time ago in 2015, but fun thing is, I never actually played it. I should actually try Just Cause 3. Why did I put jetpack in this script? Where did I get? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm stupid, aren't I? But that's it. That is the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A bit of fact check has to be done, because yeah, I think I confused it with Just Cause 4 as well. Weird thing is, I actually played 4 and didn't play 3. I know I'm a bit retarded. I should play 4. I need 3. I need to play 3. Definitely need to play 3. But thank you guys for liking the video, and hope you enjoyed it. Bye.